order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Councilmember Mario Buchanan Jr.,
Present.
Councilmember Africa Luna Carrasco,
Present.
Councilmember Jose Ponce,
Present.
Councilmember Matias Rosales,
Present.
Councilmember Gloria Torres,
Present.
Vice Mayor Maria Cecilia Cruz,
Present.
Mayor Gerardo Sanchez.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Vice, let's see here. Ponce, Jose Ponce, just lead us pledge of allegiance, please.
Yes, Mayor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
Stands.
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ponce. Do we have an invocation today? I guess no one. Maria, could
Yes,
you give us the invocation, please?
Oh, Tadeo.
Holy One, known by many names and beyond all names, we ask you your blessings on mayor and council members who have been called to lead the city of San Luis. Grant them the wisdom and courage to know and do what is right and good and true. May we speak out when it is the time to speak out and listen attentively when it is time to listen. May they and we always be guided by the spirit of community and by the spirit of justice. This we pray in the name of all that we hold sacred and holy. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ted. We're going to go ahead and go with the proclamation presentation. Proclamation is GIS Day, November 18, 2020. Sonia?
Whereas the City of San Luis recognizes that an understanding, use of, and application of geospatial technology is crucial to operating our infrastructure, sustaining our natural resources, and stimulating economic growth, thus benefiting the welfare of the general public throughout the City of San Luis. And whereas Geographic Information Systems, GIS technology, allows us to see and model complex relationships and patterns to more intelligently respond. And whereas there is a need to promote GIS awareness, education, and technical training to use this rapidly developing technology to its full potential. And whereas the City of San Luis acknowledges those that have chosen GIS as their profession or as part of their discipline to improve the lives of our citizens. And whereas to recognize and support the efforts of nonprofits who work on activities to improve conservation, human services, and various humanitarian efforts to better our world. And whereas having a day of GIS activities open to students, citizens, and government leaders will help promote STEM education and inspire others to a higher calling to use technology for good. And whereas the City of San Luis is committed to utilizing GIS to inform decision-making and better serve its residents and make useful geographic information open and easily available to the public as a platform for innovation. Now, therefore, Gerardo Sanchez, Mayor of the City of San Luis, Arizona, does hereby proclaim November 18, 2020 as GIS Day, passed and adopted this 10th day of November 2020.
Thank you, Sonia. And as the city grows, more and more we are going to be depending on the geographic information systems technology. And it's a science. It's a new science. It's a new tool cities can use as they grow, as they plan, And it's one of those things that technology will bring us. More exact geographic locations, precise geographic locations. And so I commend those who are studying, and it's a field by itself. So congratulations, and we recognize the importance of geographic information systems technology. And thank you, Sonia. We're going to go ahead and go with presentations of recognition of the 2020 third quarter awardees with the Employees Recognition and Awards Program, the ERAP, for their outstanding work with the City of San Luis. Frausto Gonzalez, HR Coordinator, and Rogelio Martinez, ERAP Vice Chair.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayor. My name is Fausto Gonzalez, Human Resources Coordinator, and I'm actually here. Joining me tonight, I have Vice Chair of the Employee Recognitions and Awards Program Committee, Rogelio Martinez, which will be assisting with awards. We actually had to adjust our presentation a little bit due to COVID, so all of our years of service recipients are joining us live virtually to limit the amount of people that we have here. So we actually also adjusted the presentation a little bit, and we have a slideshow for you, for everyone. That way we know who's actually getting which award, what department they're from, and the position that they're in as well. And then we'll jump over to the actual recognition for the different categories that we have. We have customer service, achievement, excellence, safety, and employee of the quarter. So with that said, if we could just, for those group recipients, group category, if we could just ask for one representative from each department to limit the amount of people, and practice social distancing while taking pictures. Yeah, so we can start with years of service. We actually have a total of 16 people in years of service. We have 5 years, 15 years, 20 years, and 25 years. And for 5 years, we actually have Lino Valencia, police officer, Elvis Flores, maintenance specialist at Parks and Recreation, Parks Grounds, Lisette Varela, recreation coordinator, Parks and Recreation, Silvia Vasquez, paralegal, city prosecutors, and Jose Toro, wastewater plant operator, Public Works, wastewater division. And we also have 15 years. For 15 years, we have Yadira Bobadilla, police sergeant, Luis Sebreros, firefighter, Noel Chavez, firefighter, Fabian Felix, fire captain, Javier Gonzalez, fire captain. 15 years continued, we also have Diana Hernandez, administrative coordinator with the fire department, Enrique Lopez, assistant fire chief, and Roman Pacheco, planning technician, development services, and Sergio Valenzuela, water systems operators with the water division. That's for 15 years. For 20 years, we have Police Sergeant Jose de Leon. 25 years, we have Francisco Silva, fire engineer. And that concludes our years of service. So we can actually now go over to our different categories for the awardees for the third quarter. So we're going to start over with customer service. And we actually have Crystal Fragoso. She's an admin coordinator with Parks and Recreation. She is also joining us live. And Crystal Fragoso is the recipient of the Customer Service Award for the third quarter due to the exceptional customer service that she demonstrates on a day-to-day basis. Crystal is not only a colleague that is dependable, but also efficient at what she does. She projects her warm, cheerful attitude to any customer or member of the community she assists. Crystal can be seen resolve conflicts and handle difficult situations that have forced her to come out of her comfort zone with remarkable patience, kind and considerate regards for others. Even though Crystal prefers to work behind the scenes, her professionalism, work ethic, and interactions with internal and external customers are deserving of the Customer Service Award for this third quarter. So congratulations, Crystal, for customer service. We'll make sure to get her certificate during this week. And for the Achievement Award, we actually have a group, and it's actually Planning and Zoning Department, Francia Alonso, Jose Luis Cisneros, and Marlene Lara. if we could have one representative and have you guys come down. We'll take a group picture once we're done reading this category. Planning and Zoning, Francia, Jose Luis, and Marlene demonstrated the meaning of the Achievement Award due in part to their work in the City and Zone Census 2020 Todos Contamos efforts, coordinating between staff, local, state, and federal authorities, among many other stakeholders, was no easy task. Their efforts to count everyone in the Census 2020 and going out every day after day, week after week, to count as many San Luis residents as possible was noteworthy. This past quarter, they actively engaged with the San Luis community through various means and events like Census Vaquetero, and this helped strengthen alliances and connections with the community during this pandemic. Planning and zoning and staff established a renewed and reinvigorated spirit of cooperation and collaboration with city local businesses, community leaders, and other city departments. They demonstrated that a brighter and more stable future for the community is achievable through their energy, dedication, hard work, and commitment to public service. Congratulations, Planning and Zoning, Francia Alonso, Jose Luis Cisneros, and Marlene Lara. And we'll just take a quick picture. Jose Luis Cisneros, Francia, can you join us for a group picture, please? And we also have planning and zoning staff here as well. If you could stand up and also be recognized for this achievement as well. Planning and zoning also took the Award of Excellence. Planning and zoning also demonstrated the meaning of the Award of Excellence due in part to their work in the San Luis General Plan 2040 and the Census 2020 Todos Contamos efforts. Both the General Plan 2040 comprehensive plan and coordinating between local, state, and federal authorities, among and many other stakeholders, was no easy task. Their efforts to count everyone in the community was also remarkable. This past quarter, they have been actively engaged in the community through various means and events like Census Banquetero. Planning and zoning established a renewed and reinvigorated spirit of cooperation and collaboration with city, local businesses, community leaders, and other city departments. So thank you so much, Planning and Zoning Department. If we could have department head pick up the award for that one as well. Congratulations, guys. For Safety Award, we actually have a group recipients here for this one. So this is Facilities, IT, and Risk Management. These departments and divisions are the recipients of the Safety Award for the third quarter for their hard work in adapting quickly to COVID 2019. Thanks to them, we were able to reopen San Luis City Hall safely for our community. Our Facilities Division has been keeping up with the latest CDC, OSHA, and EPA guidance and infection controls, which will keep the virus down but not be toxic to staff. Facilities learned what they had to take on the many tasks involved. One of those frontline tasks meant putting on their head-to-toe personal protective equipment, disinfecting areas of possible COVID 2019 exposure, and what is more, they keep learning as more is known about the effective infection control. IT had to figure out overnight how to conduct council meetings online with the equipment that they had. They have been working constantly on keeping the internet connections to the city despite record-breaking demands on the system. Their demeanor is consistently customer-friendly no matter the type of pressure they face. And Risk Management's own Maria Sabori quickly took the initiative to expand her duties beyond the usual injury and workplace disease prevention to include infection controls against COVID-19. Ms. Sabori has been busy reaching out to every department by watching out for the safety of the employees. She has been diligently identifying hazards, providing staff with the latest information on infection controls, seeking out the best cost-effective training and communications, and working with testing providers for the most at risk, who are first responders and the essential infrastructure workers. Thank you, Facilities, IT, and Risk. If I could ask you guys to come and pick up your award and also a picture as well, please. And if we could ask Mr. Alavis to join us. Congratulations. And last but not least, we have Employee of the Quarter. For Employee of the Quarter, we actually have Mr. Jose Guzman, Director of Planning and Zoning. The City of San Luis has employed Jose Guzman since 2014. He began as Associate Planner, and in 2017, after the sudden and impromptu departure of the Director of Planning and Zoning, at the time he was appointed Acting Director. Jose performed that role until February 2018, when he was officially promoted to Director of Planning and Zoning. Since then, Jose has been able to streamline and improve the home building inspections by acquiring an app that facilitates the process. Mr. Guzman also oversaw the General Plan 2040, which was conducted by a team he led for over a year, and will assist our rapidly growing community by having a smart growth plan. The city will save approximately $70,000 because of Mr. Guzman by combining the bicycle and Pathways Master Plan and the Parks Master Plan, which will facilitate better planning and have the city be proactive in planning for the future. Last but not least, the Census 2020 efforts and events that were planned by him and his team were a success. They carried a lot of coordination with other departments, and the 11 events that were done led to the counting of more than 600 households in the community. Due to his work, the city's image has improved, allowing employees to come together and for the city to engage with its residents during these challenging times. Not only did Jose complete the projects above and save the city money every day, but he also strives to be better and improve his department. For each decision made, most of the time, there is substantial research and information gathered as to why decisions are made within his department, regardless of whether the decision is popular. Thank you, Mr. Guzman, and congratulations. And that concludes our presentation for the Employee Recognitions and Awards program. Thank you.
Fausto, thank you. Great job. I just want to say that for those people who got recognized for years of service, 5, 15, 20, and 25, thank you for being part of the city. Thank you for being a member of our family, our extended family. So I really appreciate the hard work and dedication you dedicate to your jobs on a day-to-day basis. I also like to recognize those employees that got recognized for customer service. Thank you, and a smile really makes a big difference. For those who participated in the census, thank you for making a difference. From being 31%, we got over 40. So over 600 families got registered. Otherwise, we're not going to be registered for the census. For all the departments, parks, planning and zoning, Jose had excellent job. For IT, for parks and recreation, fire, police, for even I saw financing was also there, and all the different departments. We made a difference, and it's one of those things that it's at very difficult times, during times of pandemic. It's very difficult to go outside, and staff went out and did your due diligence. While the federal government sent some people out, the city was out there every day, and I thank you for it. And you kept yourself safe, you wore your mask, and you kept other people safe. So thank you for your hard work and dedication, and I'm really proud of the employees of the city for showing that we really care for our community. We do this not only for our community, but we want to make sure for the future growth of our community. So thank you, and thank you for those council members who made time and effort. I know everyone works, but I think it's very important that the community sees the council members outside the council chambers. It's very important we communicate and we mingle with our fellow constituents. So thank you, and I'm very grateful for the hard work council, city council, and especially staff. Tadeo, thank you for your hard work also. Marlene, Jose Luis, and Francia, thank you for being out there and taking all the messages and organizing and working with the state, federal, different people. And I congratulate all of you. For those people who were part of the census committee, residents who were part of the census committee, thank you so much. And we should also recognize you. Planning and zoning, for continuing your work. I know, I mean, it's hard. It's been hard for everyone, but we made it happen, and congratulate you. And Fausto, thank you for your committee for recognizing those employees. It's very important to say thank you and job well done. And so thank you so much. If anyone wants to say anything else from council, please feel free.
Mayor, likewise, I want to thank staff and all the employees for everything they've done through this COVID pandemic and keeping the customer service up and going, especially planning and zoning with all the projects and short-staffed and limited resources during this time. So thank you for everybody. Love seeing all these 5, 15-year, 20-year, and 25-year employees continue to list as every year grows. For some reason, it seems to be more of the fire and the police, but you know, hopefully the rest of the departments will add some years in there as well. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
Yes, Mayor, I would like to comment.
Maria?
Yes, congratulations to all the 5, 15-year, 20-year, 25 years of service to our employees. That's amazing. So continue the awesome work that you guys do, and of course, customer service awards for everyone who participated during this crazy pandemic in every department. We're just so pleased with you. So congratulations to everybody.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Yes, I just want to say something, Mayor.
Sure, Gloria.
I want to say thank you and congratulations to everybody for the hard work and for being part of the city of San Luis. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Gloria. Anyone else?
Yes, Mayor, also the same lines. Congratulations to all those mentioned. And hopefully they'll stay with us another 5, 15, or 20 years more.
Yes.
God willing.
God willing. Good comment. Jose, I saw you touch your mic.
Yes, same thing, Mayor. I'd like congratulations to everybody, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Good. Mario?
Yes, Mayor. Yes, of course, I want to thank everyone and thank you for your hard work and thank you for staying safe. Ready? Thanks very much.
Good comment. Thank you. We are now going to go ahead and go with the consent agenda. All matters are considered routine by City Council and will be enacted with one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Minutes of regular council meeting held October 28th, 2020. Disbursements from October 16, 2020 through October 29, 2020. Total disbursements is $578,398.12. I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those against? Motion carries. Thank you. We're going to go ahead with discussion and possible action items. The first discussion item is 6A, discussion and possible action in all matters regarding the designation of a vice mayor. I want to go ahead and comment why this item was brought to my attention. First and foremost, there's a couple of things that are occurring right now as we speak. During the past couple of weeks, especially with funding for the Port of Entry 1, there has been possible discussion that they might cut funding for the construction. I'm verifying it. The past 2 weeks, I've been verifying it. And so this means that I'm going to have to, and the vice mayor is going to have to be traveling. I know it's pandemic area and pandemic time, but there's a possibility we might have to go to Mexico City or Washington, D.C. Because the funding, and now with the change of basically president, things might change. So the vice mayor is going to be working a lot with me. I'm also, one of the other things is I've been receiving messages. People are getting worried who's going to represent us in the YMPO. So with the vice mayor, I'm also going to add, the vice mayor is also going to be attending the YMPO meeting, is going to be a representative, and I will be substituting when the vice mayor is not able to attend. So I know the meetings occur on Tuesdays. So is that right, Vice Mayor?
Mayor, they are on the last Thursday of the month.
Last Thursday of the month, and they
Yes.
normally, how long are they?
They start about 1:30 normally, and maybe 2 hours long.
Okay. Well, it's one of those things that the biggest concern there is that the state might be switching the money advocated for Los Alamos. So we need someone there who's going to be persistent, who's going to make sure that the funding for La Curva Peligrosa continues, because since it's way out there, we need to make sure that funding does not get removed or mitigated or put somewhere else because of COVID. I don't want COVID to be the reason why this money gets deviated. And so that's the biggest risk. And YMPO, it has occurred before, where money is deviated to a different area. And I want to make sure that we have a strong voice in the YMPO. So I'm adding that responsibility to the vice mayor position. So it requires a lot more time, but I'm dedicating a lot of time. I'm giving up a lot of work days working, and it's something that needs to happen. The economy of San Luis, Arizona is dependent on the port of entry. We need to work on port of entry too. We need vehicles. So these are federal, these are big things but it impact us directly. So we need to start moving now. And the thing is, we can't assume that just because the COVID, at this point in time, there's a lot of money in jeopardize here. So we need to make contact with our Republican friends, and also our new, we're going to see who's going to take over the federal government and which agencies are going to be changing. So it's a big responsibility. So it's not easy, but I'm going to need help because I can't do it by myself. And so that's the reason I brought it up. I know, Vice Mayor, you only have one more meeting after this. And I know you're going through a lot right now, and I sincerely hope everything's fine. But that's the reason I brought it. It's not because the only person I informed was Tadeo, and it's one of those things that we need to start moving now. I will be having a couple of meetings next week, and so it's one of those things that we cannot afford. It's not waiting for us. So there's a lot of people that are already talking about defunding the border or the port of entry 1, and so we need to continue. Plus, this person might be going to Hermosillo also, because there's a reason they're thinking of not promoting or the changes that we had agreed on because of funding. So we need to start working with San Luis Rio Colorado first and foremost, and most likely go to Hermosillo, because the federal government has made changes in Mexico, basically a state issue. So it's going to take a lot of travel. So that's the reason why this brought up. It was not any other reason. So I will open the floor for discussion.
Yes, Mayor.
Yes, Gloria.
Yes, in consideration of a new council, we should consider discussing deciding in January, Mayor. When new council take office, this gives new council the opportunity to be part of this decision. Don't you think so?
It's a good comment, but I think I need a decision now. I need to start moving.
Why now? Maria can finish her term via vice mayor.
For 2 weeks.
And when she's ready to go, we have a new person that coming in. How we can think if the new person wants to be a vice mayor?
I cannot afford to have a new person as a vice mayor. I'm telling you the reason why.
Well, I just said my opinion regardless, and it usually is when it's finished, when a person finish her terms, we decided between everybody, and this one isn't finished yet. Maria isn't finished yet his term.
She has only got 2 weeks left. Thank you. I'll take that into consideration. Anyone else?
Yes,
I would like-
Mayor. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, Mayor, I strongly agree with you. The reason why is if they're already threatening in taking funding away in these two separate areas, we need a person who has experience, who is strong in voicing our opinions in the city. We cannot put a person who is not gonna be there devoted to this time. You can count the times that I missed meetings at YMPO. I've tried to be there with you whenever you were making a presentation. We need to support these issues as much as we can with a strong voice. The reason being is that we cannot afford these years that we have been fighting for the port of entry. And if they just want to sweep us out of the way, we need to start raising our voices. We're not going to give this fight up just because they say they want our money in a different pot of funding. This is our money and we need to fight for it.
Thank you, Maria. Jose?
Yeah, Mayor. I'm sorry. I think that as an insult, this is a slap in the face to all of us. I mean, she's Vice Mayor is saying that only 1-2 persons, are capable of doing something. I mean, that's an insult for the rest of the council. Mayor, I agree with Gloria. We should wait until the Vice Mayor, ends her term, and then we can nominate. Doesn't matter who. I don't care. Who you want to nominate, and but then if you want to nominate right now somebody, I like to nominate then Africa Luna. I think she's the most capable person then to be appointed to that position. Thank you.
Okay, good. Anyone else?
Mayor, may I just want to state that I get what you're saying and I totally agree. We can't, we can't let this go like you say it's going, but we're a 7-member council, so we should all be able to participate in one way or another in all these very, very important issues that we've been fighting for since I can remember. So I don't think it's fair that we just leave it up to you and the vice mayor, whoever that person is appointed. I think we're a 7-board, like I said, a 7-board team, and we need to start working as a team.
I agree. Thank you. Anyone else?
Mayor, may I?
Yes.
Well, just to start, we already started the discussion, but I'm not interested in a position like that, so I don't have that time, so I'd just like to bring it up. I know that I'm not being appointed by anyone, but it's just to let you know I don't have that time. It's such an important position, to take care, when you're not around or where we're not around. We need to represent our community well, and I understand that everybody can do it as long as they have the time. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mayor,
Yes.
being that I was the vice mayor for many terms or years before Vice Mayor Cruz, it does take a lot of time, and this was pre-COVID. I don't know what's going to happen here forward in regards to the traveling and all this stuff, but being part of the Port Authority and seeing all the emails that are coming in, whoever wants to step up to the plate or whoever gets appointed for this does need to be able to commit to the time to travel and so forth. I don't hear Ms. Cruz saying that no one else is qualified for it. I never heard her say that. She just stated that whoever is going to be appointed, whoever wants to take that responsibility needs to commit to the time that is required. It does take up a lot of time. I mean, I was there, and again, it's our own, as council, if I recall correctly, we're supposed to review this item once a year, and we haven't done it as well. I mean, I got put on that position when I was coming out of the hospital, and I was it for 5 years. Ms. Cruz been vice mayor, what now, for 4 years, 3 years, 4, 3? How many? Maria?
2 years.
Two?
Two.
Again, this is something that could be revisited at any time. I'm assuming that the council, but I also agree with you, Mayor, that putting a new council member that might be coming in, I don't know if they have the experience that's needed for the position. It would have to be someone that has the time and someone here that's available to attend the meeting. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that as well.
Okay. I personally wanted you, Matias, to be the vice mayor because you know what's going on. And the thing is, we don't want to start from scratch. My biggest concern is we need to use our contacts to make sure we don't lose this funding. It's beyond that.
And I would hate for that to happen as well. I mean, we've all worked at it together, all of us. And, we've all traveled. I mean, I traveled when I was there for 4 or 5 years, all the meetings that we've had. Ms. Cruz took over and attended all the meetings and was everywhere when we were able to travel. So yeah, I will admit, and I think everyone knows by attending all these conferences that we've all attended, whether it's NALEO, whether it's the City of League, it's the connections and the people that you meet at the meetings and able to talk to them while you're at that meeting. I will say that via Zoom, it is a little bit harder and is a little bit different, but we still got to make sure that we continue pushing forward with someone who's going to be able to understand the history, the past. But if we have to take the time for that person, whoever it's going to be, not to be knowledgeable, that's going to be a step back, in my opinion. So there's 7 of us right now. Out of 7 of us, 6 of us are going to be here. 6 of us should be knowledgeable for the past. It's just a matter of us right now figuring out who wants to be appointed. I'm game for it, Mayor, if you guys decide that way, or if it's Africa, or if it's Mr. Ponce, or whoever it is. Mario's saying he doesn't have the time. Gloria didn't mention if she did or not, but I don't agree that it should be someone that's coming in new for something that's so important, especially when we're looking for funding for $100 million to finish our report of entry.
Agree.
I'm sorry, Mayor, may I say something?
Yes.
Councilmember Matias, I don't want to be a vice mayor, okay, just for your own info, okay? No, Mayor, I mean, let me ask you something.
Please.
In order for somebody to perform, I mean, to do, I mean, a good job, that means, and they need to be a vice mayor. I mean, because I mean, Councilman Matias, I mean, he can do, I mean, a good job as you're saying. Well, he can keep doing it. I mean, but I mean, you can we can nominate somebody else. I mean, for the vice mayor position. I mean, will it make any difference?
Yes, it does. The vice mayor actually, when in my absence, the vice mayor becomes mayor. That's the difference. In a case of an emergency, for example, when you go to DC, or I for some reason incapacitated, the vice mayor becomes mayor, not the regular council member.
Not only that, Mayor, but keep in mind, when Vice Mayor took over and we all 3 ended up going to the meetings that we have to go because I went and support to you guys because I was there for the 4 or 5 years. It's always at these federal levels, it's by title, mayor, vice mayor, and then you're the council member. So whoever is the vice mayor needs to be able to present and do the information. That's why I ended up going still after a while, a couple of years with you guys, a couple of the meetings, to make sure that she was brought up to speed and she learned real quick and did that. But again, we don't have that opportunity here coming forward. If council wants to come back and revisit the position 6 months from now or next month or 2 months, we have the option, I guess. But, if we do have these things going on the next 2-3 months, we got to make sure that we're covered.
That's my biggest concern.
Mayor, just one statement that I need to make to get it out of my chest. If the rest of us don't have the experience, is because we haven't been invited to participate at that level. So I think moving forward, my opinion is that that we bring others involved, to get them involved so that they can learn more about the system and how it works. I mean, we already know, but in more detail, so that we can represent in a higher level, as Matias was just saying. Because I honestly believe that each council member should be a vice mayor at some point during their tenure. I think it'll be a good experience because we are elected to work for the city. So in all the different levels that it involves, I think it would be a good idea. And Matias has the experience. If he wants to, I'm for it, you know, that's fine. But I think that we should consider moving forward. Like Matias said, let's revise the whole vice mayor duties and responsibilities.
If Africa, if the whole issue about participating, I can gladly take or participate seriously, because it's a lot of work, especially when we were lobbying for the amount we did. We did a lot of traveling to Phoenix, and I sure hope some other member stepped up to the plate also.
Yes,
It was never closed. And the thing is, you need to ask. I mean, I'm not going to force you to go with me. And the thing is, if you're interested, I am game. Trust me. We visited all our congregational district, and I did like 14 trips. And so did the vice mayor, and so did Tadeo, and so did Matias. And if you really want to participate, step up to the plate. Don't expect me to be asking you. No, I need you. If you're interested, said, Mayor, I want to go.
Okay.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
From now on, we should all step up to the plate and say we want to participate in this or that. At other times, we would find out through other sources like Facebook or through a press release here or there and stuff like that. And that's why, you know, we would after the fact find out. But yeah, no, that's fine. We need to step up our responsibility. We need to step up and talk.
Yeah, no, definitely. You need to say something. Don't assume no te va a caer todo del cielo. And the other thing is, when I have a meeting with GSA, they specifically say who's going to be attending. The vice mayor, and the mayor. When I have, for example, El Consulado, not so long ago, the invitation was for Tadeo and the mayor, not for council. It was a very closed session. And so I have no control over those things. But if trust me, if I can have someone replace me on a meeting to go to Hermosillo, I will. I have no problem.
Or maybe not replace you or the future vice mayor, but also be allowed to participate in the meetings that we are allowed to participate. As you mentioned, some they're by invitation only, so that we can start learning the ropes.
Sounds like a plan. I have no problem with that. Africa, you're more than welcome.
And Mayor, just to collaborate with Africa on that, I mean, one of the biggest events that every year was hosted twice a year that was open to everybody, and this is what I recommend for learning, is the Arizona-Mexico Commission. I mean, those are conferences that aren't by invitation. We go to those, and those where those meetings are made and set most of the time, because that's where everybody's getting together. So those are, it's like any other conference, they're open to everybody. Unfortunately, right now with the COVID, they didn't have it this year and it got postponed. So if it's available via Zoom, take opportunity of that. And I learned right away real quick, and it was a little hard to step away when Ms. Cruz took over, is you only get invited and that's it. It's not that you can't attend. I mean, trust me, I would have, any of us, you know, but I learned real quick that GSA, the federal, they do their things their way. And if you're not on the list, you're not on the list, unfortunately. But that, I think there is where we come back, and that's maybe our fault here in giving the updates when we come back from the meetings. We do the updates at the end of the council meetings, but maybe we should figure out about sending the packets or something in writing and let every council member make sure they read them. Again, that's at their control to read an email if it goes through or not. But I know we all get busy, but maybe we could do a better job at communicating that after the fact as well. The stuff that you are able to. Some stuff is also in closed doors.
I have always gave up a summary of events I do every week. And the thing is,
And I think we sponsored Arizona, Mexico several years. I mean, we've done the coffee, we've done that, and we're a sponsor, so everybody's invited to that when we do that. And that's the reason I think why we do that, Mayor, because we want to make sure that our doors are open for everybody and keep our name out there.
Exactly. Thank you, Africa. Those comments are good.
I just want to add something, Mayor, too. When you start sitting on boards, example, YMPO, that's where you learn. That's where you learn everything. You have to be consistent. You have to be attending the meetings. Through YMPO, I have expanded sitting on boards like the RTAC, which is all transportation. So I learned the importance of funding for roads, but then that gets attached because why? Because the Port of Entry needs funding for roads. So the more boards you sit on and the more faithful you are to those boards, you're gonna learn a great deal. It's very important. I know Mayor, and I believe Africa was also a YMPO board member, but that's where you learn. And you can't, if you're consistent year after year after year after year, that's where we learn the most. But of course, like Matias says, the Arizona Mexico Commission, that was our college for the relationship between Mexico and Arizona, where we hear the governor from Sonora and the governor from Arizona start speaking on the issues that we have as two states and two countries working together. So I just wanted to add that. So the more boards you sit and participate and be faithful and go to the meetings, not just say I'm a member of a board, but actually participate and attend your meetings. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it's also a reminder for everybody, all these boards and everything, like tomorrow I have Greater Yuma Economic Development, not tomorrow, I'm sorry, Thursday. They're open to the public as well. Again, right now because of Zoom, everything's different. I mean, most of these meetings are open to the public to attend and learn. We get sent the emails, and it's like myself, I've been a few times over to the Airport Authority board meetings just because I wanted to learn about the airport for our field here in San Luis de Roli. I haven't been able to make every meeting, but I've done probably about 4 this past year before the COVID hit. But stuff like that is something that does take the time, and sometimes it's confusing, but just taking the initiative to do the learning.
Yeah. Okay. Any more discussion? If
Yes,
not,
I want to say, I
Yes.
want to say something, Mayor.
Yes.
It doesn't give the opportunity to participate. Maria stayed 4 years, Matias stayed another 4 years.
2 years.
3 years? Well, 3 years.
2 years.
But it was supposed to be 1 year to we can learn. I mean, if we're not experienced, we're not learning. I mean, why don't we have the opportunity to another person to participate like Africa wants to be? Why don't give her the opportunity?
I'm not negating any opportunity. What I'm saying is like, I need help. It needs to happen quick. And the thing is, I need a knowledgeable person. We're going to lose funding. It's not about gaining. If you want to gain experience, you're welcome to join.
So let me tell you, if Maria goes away, everybody is replaceable. I mean, can replace somebody. I mean, it's not giving. She's not going to be all the time. I mean, not going to be all her life in vice mayor. It had to be replaced. I mean, it had to be replacement.
Yeah, that's why we're going to replace her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Of course, I'm not going to be the vice mayor forever, but like we've been saying, you have to participate. You have to be dedicated for community events. We need more participation in community events. And if council members aren't participating in simple community events, how are they going to be loyal to events that take travel and to be knowledgeable?
It's like I've said it before. If we see more participation in simple community events that are a big deal, of course. But we want somebody who's knowledgeable. We're risking losing this funding, and that's not easy. That's gonna hurt our city so much.
I know that's not easy. You learn not through your position. You learn through your position. It's not easy.
And I think that's where the mayor was comfortable when we decided to appoint Maria, because Maria was going to the meetings as a council member with us to most of the stuff. Maria was at the Arizona Mexico Commission. She went to a few of the local meetings that we had here in Phoenix because of the YMPO position. So she had the knowledge because she was going as a third party participant. So that's what we need to make sure we do and move forward. And then if you guys want to revisit this in 3-4 months, whatever, that's fine. At least get us through this hurdle. But, you know, just make sure that the notice is given and make sure that the people have the opportunity to go to the meetings.
You need to show the time dedication. You really do. And in the fasting learn, it's not a learning. I would say right now, we're in desperate need for someone to be pressuring. I can't pressure everyone. And the thing is, I need help pressuring the federal government, state government, and also the Mexican government. We need to start showing our faces. And the thing is, I really need someone with experience because we might lose our funding. So.
It sounds like they're willing to sacrifice somebody that doesn't have experience, you know, saying we're going to put somebody who wants the position, but that doesn't have the experience. And they don't care if they lose the funding just so that they can put a person to gain experience while we're risking losing the funding. That doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. Well, I will now entertain a motion.
Mayor, I nominate Matias Rosales to be our next vice mayor due to the reason he's got the experience, and we need somebody who is a strong advocate for the city of San Luis with all the experience that he has with the Port Authority and has experience, and we know he's gonna be there when duty calls.
Second that motion.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
All those against?
Nay.
Nay.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Matias. Oh, Matias, you have to accept it.
I'm thinking. But you're gonna point also to the YMPO, you said?
Yeah.
So if that conflicts with the Greater Yuma Port, not the Port Authority, but the GYDC, will you be able to appoint someone else to the GYDC?
I think so. I think we can afford that.
Because I think the GYDC also meets on Thursdays, but I think it's the second Thursday, the third Thursday. Because right now I have the Port Authority, GYDC, and then it'll be the YMPO. So if GYDC becomes a conflict, I mean, that's also a good board for someone to participate in.
But you gain experience.
Yeah, so I'll let you know. But yeah, I accept.
I think the biggest one is YMPO. My biggest concern right now is YMPO because
And Mayor,
go ahead.
Mayor had a meeting for the RTAC, and I represent the YMPO board at RTAC, and I had mentioned that we need to resurrect. There's a funding that is specific for ports of entry roads, and I had mentioned that we're gonna get 16 lanes, and we do not have the proper infrastructure. So they're gonna start talking in resurrecting this pot of money so that we can have funding it's a specific funding for ports of entry roads. So that's something that's gonna need to be pushed also.
That's true. Okay. Thank you. Motion carries. Thank you, Matias. We're going to go ahead and go to item number 6B, discussing the possible action on all matters regarding brick walls at various retention basins with the city of San Luis. Mr. Galaviz?
Vice Mayor, council members, administration. Just, is it on? Maybe this one. Hello? Is it on? This one's on.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, just making sure. We bring this item before you. We have prioritized the list, but we're recommending that all the projects be funded due to safety and concerns of getting all these projects completed, and requesting funding from council to move forward on this project.
Louis, I think it's very important we invest because we are investing in our streets, and the thing is, a lot of the walls are falling apart, and we need to. It's safety. It's also the aesthetics of our small little parks or basins, and I think we really do need to do maintenance on the structures. They are falling apart, and we need to make sure that we invest. It's only $55,000, and the thing is, it's going to cost us a lot more. We have to replace everything. So I agree with you, Louis. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. Vice Mayor Maria C. Cruz.
Yes, Mayor, we just need to move forward. This is very important.
Okay, thank you. Jose Ponce.
No question, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Gloria.
No, no comments.
Thank you. Mario.
I agree, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Matia Rosales.
Good, Mayor.
Good. Africa Luna Carrasco.
No comments, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now take a motion.
I make a motion to move forward with this agenda item that was been presented.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, let's see here. We're going to go ahead and go item number 6C, discussion and possible action on all matters regarding ordinance number 401, an ordinance of the Mayor, City Council, City of San Luis, Arizona, for the management of trees in the city of San Luis and practices for the care of trees and removal when in the health, safety, and welfare interest of the residents, amending the San Luis City Code, repealing any conflicting provisions and providing for servability and providing for penalties. Mr. Galaviz.
Again, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. This discussion was with other department directors, community development and public works, working together. This ordinance will support the care and development of our trees in the city, focusing on long-term of becoming a tree city in the future. This has a health benefit. It has a shade for individuals using our open spaces. And a lot of the maintenance is already done by the city employees. And we are currently looking at more training to better maintain it, and also developing a nursery and other projects that will increase the planting of trees in our city.
Thank you, Lee. One of the things that, one of the comments I've been hearing again and again is from our community, especially the younger population in our community, is that they need to see more greenery. The city needs to turn green, and the parks, we need more parks, we need more green. Based on the looking into the general plan, we are lacking in regards to greenery compared to other communities. And so this will definitely put us on track to provide the greenery, the green part or aspect of the city to our community, and provide more shaded structures and other places for our children to play. And it's very important we continue this trend. And I think this will set us up for one day San Luis having better, more improved shade, more improved green areas where people can participate, walk, do exercise, or just read a book. Or it's one of the things we need to do. So it's very important. So I agree with you, Louis. Thank you. I'm gonna now go open the floor to Vice Mayor Maria C. Cruz.
None, Mayor. We know the importance, so I believe we need to move forward.
Thank you. Jose Ponce, questions, concerns? Jose? Gloria, comments, concerns?
No, Mayor, no comments.
Thank you. Mario?
No, Mayor, no comments. Thank you.
Matias?
All good, Mayor.
Thank you. Africa?
No, Mayor, just that I love this project and I'm so glad we're moving forward with this.
Thank you. Appreciate it. If not, I will now take a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve this item as presented by council, by staff. Forgive me.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hang on.
Aye.
We need to read the title.
Mayor.
So-
Is that
So-
Title 401, right, Maria? There you go.
I move to approve reading the ordinance number 401 by title only.
Second.
There's a motion. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those against? Motion carries.
Ordinance number 401, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, Arizona for the management of trees and practices for the care of the trees and removal when in the health, safety, and welfare interest of the residents, amending the San Luis City Code, repealing any conflicting provision, providing for severability, and imposing a penalty.
Thank you. I will now take a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve and adopt ordinance number 401.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those against? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Galavis.
Thank you, Mayor, and I just want to add that, just want to thank all the department heads that helped us put this together, and especially legal. They guided us through this, so thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 6D, discussion of possible action on all matters regarding the appointment of one City of San Luis resident to serve on the City of San Luis Planning and Zoning Commission. Mr. Jose Guzman.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. The city currently has 6 commission members, and the commission is supposed to be 7 members. We received a letter from Commission Member Daniel Basua resigning from the commission. We have received 2 applications for this position from George Amaya and Edel Silva, which are attached on the report for your review. And staff recommends that council approve a resident for this position, since having a full commission is important for the future growth of the city.
Who has the Bachelor of Science in Public Health? Was that Mr. George Amaya?
Yes.
Gloria, do you have any input on the Idrel Silva?
No, we just received his application about 2 weeks ago. I know he's a general contractor, but I don't know where he was, where he knew about this position, but he just sent the application via email.
The reason I asked because I noticed that he put Ms. Torres as a reference. I'm wondering if Gloria knows anything or any input on him. No?
I'm going to open
Well,
the floor for discussion.
yeah.
Go ahead, Maria.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm impressed with Mr. Jorge Amaya's application. As I see, it says Yuma County Department of Development Services, Bachelor of Science, Public Health. I think I'm leaning towards this gentleman here.
Yeah, it's very diverse. I like his application.
Yeah.
He brings a lot of knowledge. We have a lot of contractors also. But I think he'll be the different perspective, health-wise.
Not only that, but when they take the time to type up the application, I think that shows a little bit more also of interest, I think. That or he's like me and his writing is bad and I type up everything for the same reason, so it might be for that reason. But yeah.
It could be. It could be. Yeah. Anyone else? Ponce, comments, questions, concerns?
No, sir. I agree with you, Mayor, at this time. I think Mr. George Amaya looks the best candidate.
Okay, thank you. Gloria, any comments?
No comments.
Mario?
No, Mayor, I'm good with George also.
Matias?
I'm good as well, Mayor.
Good. Africa?
No comments.
Okay. I will now take a motion.
Mayor, I move to appoint George Amaya as the Planning and Zoning Commissioner to fill vacancy created by Daniel Bazua, which terms expire January 31st, 2023.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those against? Motion carries. Thank you. So it's George. So Jose, you got another member.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Mayor, I'm so sorry, but due to family emergency, I'm gonna have to leave the meeting. So
Okay.
good night.
Good night. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and go with discussion number 6E, discussion and possible action on all matters regarding Resolution 2146, a resolution of the Mayor, City Council, City of San Luis, Arizona, approving Las Quintas de San Luis 3 development agreement between the City of San Luis and Rydell Holdings, LLC, and repealing resolution number 2058. Jose Guzman, Director of Planning and Zoning. Jose, tell us about this.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Council members. So you might remember that we already did a development agreement for Las Quintas 3 about two years ago. So the layout of the development changed. Instead of 19 lots, now they're proposing 10 lots. So we basically doing the rezoning from R112 to R120. The only difference is the minimum lot size, which is 20,000 square feet, and the open space requirement changed from 5% to 2%, so it was reduced. So we basically having the same conditions as the previous development agreement. We just changed condition number 2 for the open space requirement and added the second to last condition, which refers to the offset of Quintero Street. The developer didn't agree with condition number 1 and this condition, but we mentioned that the traffic study is required by ordinance number 390, and the alignment with Quintero is a concern. They submitted a way to alleviate this requirement, to add a median on County 22nd Street, but it's under review by city staff, so we just put it on the development agreement just in case it's an issue. We have the new conceptual plan.
How big are the lots?
The minimum, it's 20,000 square feet, but I think the ones proposed are about 30 to 40,000.
Naja, tell us about your project. Or the state.
Mr. Mayor, council members, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
My project is another beautiful project in the city of San Luis. We went ahead and reduced the number of the lots from 20 to 10 to make them, large and do something different. One of the things that Mr. Guzman had not mentioned, that we met with city staff, we met with Mr. Guzman and Mr. Elohio Vera and the city engineer. We discussed it really good. And one of the things is the median is not our idea. The median was the city engineer's idea and Mr. Elohio's idea. So we agreed to it. And that issue, that median solves the problem of the offset of the street. It came out as a solution to that problem. And we discussed the traffic impact study, and the decision was made at that meeting that it's not required because a traffic impact study is not going to do anything. All of the improvements under the sun that the city wants, we did it. We are widening the entire 22nd Street all the way from 10th to the canal with curb gutter and sidewalk. We are putting the median that Elohio asked for and the city engineer asked for. And for 10 lots, what's the traffic impact study going to do? But hey, guys, if you want it, we will do it. Just like everything else. If you want it, we will do it. We're not going to let it to be a showstopper. I'm just thinking it's ridiculous. And that's my opinion, and I will stop.
Thank you, Naja. Look, the project looks good. So we're talking about 10 lots, only 10 lots. And
Yes, 10 lots.
these are going to be single home lots. You're not going to build like an apartment complex in one lot or something like that, or a duplex, something like that?
Absolutely not. They're going to be the zoning and everything will just make them be residential lots, basically.
Okay, big residential lots, finally, Naja.
Yeah, and I guess city staff needs to be a little bit nice to us with this one anyway. And we agreed to it. I really don't know why these items keep coming up when we already agreed on them.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Vera, let me hear you.
Good evening, Mayor and council member and staff and Naja. So yeah, when I just saying, I do agree with him. You know, for 10 lots, usually, you know, the traffic study won't do much to it, especially
Not too much.
we already have that median, which I think is necessary due to the offset of the intersection. The turning movements will conflict, you know, if we didn't include that median. But the one thing, Naja, that I just want to add, you just so everybody knows, I guess, where we're coming from the staff side, is the turn lane, the left turn lane into Las Quintas 2. I think the traffic study, I think we're not looking for a complete traffic study, but I think the analysis of the traffic counts into Las Quintas 2, I think that queue distance for your left turns will probably come out of that traffic study. Right now, I think you have a proposed length, but I think looking like compared to like the ADOT standard, I think we're short quite a bit. So I think mostly I think we're looking at making sure we have the right distances in those left turns into Las Quintas 2. I understand that there's not much that we can gain from the traffic study for Las Quintas 3. So that's pretty much where staff's coming from on that one.
So,
I
Mr.
think
Vera,
I think Elohio, I think you, Jim, and I are intelligent enough to figure it out. You know, why should we hire somebody out of Phoenix and pay him tons of money to come and tell us how to do business in San Luis? We've already done the traffic impact study. We paid $18,000+ on it. I guess it's just a matter of updating that.
Right.
But I mean, what you are talking about here, all it takes is 10 minutes of my time and your time to talk about it, and we will work it out. I think that layout that I sent you is beautiful, you know, but we can't keep beating things to perfection, you know, for heaven's sake, we are not even perfect.
well, Naja, no one's perfect, so we want to make sure that we try to get as perfect as possible. So,
Anyway, whatever you want, Mr. Mayor and council members, we are willing to do. If staff want us to do that traffic impact study and contribute to the economy of Phoenix, we will do it, no problem.
I personally believe that, I don't believe a traffic study is warranted. I think our engineers and Mr. Vera can actually sit, not for that little small portion. It's only 10 lots. So that's my personal opinion. Now, if you were doing 20, then I would, but not for 10. So that's my personal opinion. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. Jose, Ponce, questions, concerns?
Well, I go along with your opinion, Mayor.
Thank you, Jose. Gloria,
No comment.
Mario?
Yes, Mayor. I want to ask Naja, why is he saying that there's no problem bringing a traffic study and then we're talking about it then? I mean.
Well, because
I mean, if you're saying that there's no problem bringing it in, anything that council wants or that we need, we should do it, right? You don't have a problem with doing that, right? So just have it in.
Mr. Buchanan, I really appreciate your comments. Like I've always told you, we are willing to do whatever you guys needed done. It's my opinion as an engineer that has been doing engineering for 35 years. That
it's part of the plan, it's part of the development agreement, and I think we needed to have it, and we can move forward with this.
I could care less. I mean, if the council votes to have it, well, like I said, we will do it. I just don't think it's necessary.
Thank you, Mario. Let's see here. Matias?
Mr. Vera, is the distance the only issue that you're trying to find out with the revised traffic report study, or also the downhill issue is a concern?
Okay. So again, to clarify, I think the traffic study comment was added on the list of items based on a resolution that was required before, but it's always been that once we get into the design, into the review process, we decide what needs to happen. again, I think what we would gain, whether it's a new traffic study or revisiting the old one, it really, I think at this time, what staff's concern is really that queue or the length of that turn lane into Las Quintas Dos. As far as turn lane or anything for Las Quintas 3, I don't think there's much to gain. I agree with Naja, but it really needs to revisit it. And I do agree that it's possibly just a modification to the old traffic study and an analysis that goes with it. And I agree, it's something that we can figure out. But I think Jose's intention on the list of comments is just, he leaves it in there so that they don't come back and say, you know, you guys never mentioned it and you're bringing it out again or bringing something new. But I think it's definitely something simple. It's not a full, complete traffic study because really this is only 10 lots. The turning movements and conflicts are really into Las Quintas 2. And then regarding the site distance, it was a requirement that the engineer, design engineer was to do for Las Quintas 2. So that curb was, the vertical curve was actually stretched out to be in compliance with what the safety requirements for that design speed. So we're good along those lines, I believe. It's something that we need to look at, but I don't think it's going to be a conflict at this time.
Okay, so you kind of highly agree that with your experience and Naja's, like the mayor stated, you guys might be able to come to a resolution without maybe having to do that, but Guzman is leaving it in there just for protection in case you guys aren't and so forth. So we're good to go, 10 lots, just the median or not, and you guys will try to work that out. And as I could tell, the developer Naja says if it ends up being needed, they have no issue with this. I have no issues either. It looks good. I love the project. It's a good improvement for that area north of County 22nd, so that'd be great.
Very good. Africa, comments, questions?
No, Mayor.
Thank you. I just need assurance from staff that you're okay working with, and I also need an okay from Naja saying you're working together because it is it's just a very small section. If we can revise the old one, I think it's more than plenty, and I believe we have plenty of engineers. Now, we're not talking about whole complete infrastructure. We're talking about just a small area. And unfortunately, we do have the requirement that requires a traffic study and all future developments. And I understand Jose by doing that, but I honestly believe, how fast can we move on this project, Naja?
Mr. Mayor, we want to move really fast, but I'm going to go ahead and say something. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and modify the original traffic impact study. And just like Elohio have mentioned, I respect Elohio's opinion. So let's go ahead and do it and move on with life. No problem.
Let's modify that, make sure that traffic study is up to date. And I'm sure Mr. Veda is willing to work with you, Naja, and you, Naja, is willing to work with Mr. Veda.
Oh, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vera works with us pretty good all the time. I mean, we don't have any problem. As a matter of fact, I'm just trying to work it out, him and I, so we can get together and work together again.
Okay.
Mayor, if I may, this is Kay McQuill, the city attorney. We do have a traffic study ordinance, and there are impacts, even though there's only 10 lots, because of the hill and because of the other.
Well, we already resolved it. I don't know why do we have to hear more about it. We said we will do it.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I just want to be clear that the ordinance, when there's impacts, does require a traffic study. So if we wanted to change that this time, we would need to go back and amend the ordinance.
Okay. Well, we are going to get a traffic study, and I think there's already one there, but we're going to revise it. But there is a traffic study already there. Here's my understanding. Correct, Mr. Veda?
That is right. I mean, there was a traffic study done for Las Quintas Dos in number 2, and then the design engineer also did an analysis of the hill coming down, which was redesigned and rebuilt because sight distance was inadequate back then. So in this case, I think with looking at the old one and updating, we would meet the requirements, I believe, of the intent of the ordinance. I think we would be covering those bases.
Okay, so basically we are getting a traffic study.
It would be updating
Yes,
we will look at the details that need to be updated. Adding 10 houses on the trip generation for traffic counts, it's not much. It's really just making sure that the new improvements are adequate for the needs of the current traffic.
Thank you. So Kay, for legal clarification, Kay, we are going to get a traffic study?
Yes, in this particular case, we have enough information to just update that. It won't be a big deal. It won't be a whole thing. So we will be complying with the ordinance.
Okay, good. Very good. So we are getting a traffic study, and it's a modification of the old one, but we are definitely getting a traffic study, which is part of the ordinance. And according to legal, it should abide by our basically requirements for any new subdivision. Okay?
Correct.
Thank you. If not, any more questions, I will now entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 2146.
Second.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Yeah, I just want to make a quick comment.
Yes,
Naja,
Jordan?
Yes, ma'am.
Naja, those are big lots. Reserve one for me.
You know what? We will give you the first. We'll give you the first one.
Okay.
We can't.
I just wanted.
We can't talk in public. Sorry, guys.
No, we are joking. She's joking. I'm joking. I just, Mr. Mayor, council members, I wanted to thank you very much, and I want to thank staff for working with us on this project.
Naja, we need to finish vote. Naja, we still haven't finished yet. Naja, I got 3 yays. I'm still waiting for the rest.
Aye.
Yes, sir.
I said aye.
I made the motion.
All right.
Okay.
Mario seconded.
All those against? Motion carries. Naja, you have a development. And
You see, I knew that there was nobody again.
Thank you. Make it quick. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to go with, let's see here. Item number 6F, public hearing followed by discussion and possible action on all matters regarding rezoning case number 2020-0474 and ordinance number 402, an ordinance of the Mayor City Council of Arizona, amending the official map, zoning map of the city of San Luis, changing the zoning classification of 10.52 acres from medium density residential to low density residential R1-20 for property located north of County 22nd Street and east of the East Main Canal, repealing any conflicting provisions and providing for severability. Jose Guzman, Director of Planning and Zoning. I will now entertain a motion to open a public hearing.
So move, Mayor.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. Now we're open to the public. Mr. Jose Guzman.
Mayor, council members, this is a rezoning for Las Quintas 3. This is the same project that we talked about in the previous item. So basically, we're recommending approval of this ordinance based on resolution number 2146, the development agreement that was previously approved. So the rezoning will be conditioned on all that conditions on the development agreement.
Okay. I'm gonna open the floor for discussion. I have no problem with this. I think it's just part of the subdivision. So, Jose Ponce, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, sir.
Thank you. Gloria Torres, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, Mayor, no comment.
Thank you. Mario Buchanan Jr., any comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor, thank you.
Matias Rosales, comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Africa Luna Carrasco, comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. If there's not, I will now take a motion. Oh,
Mayor?
actually, we need to, let's see here, we need a call to, this is a call to the public on this item. I will now take a motion to close public hearing.
Mayor, was there any, yeah, could we inquire of the clerk if there was any email?
Point of clarification, Sonia, was there any mail or someone who was against the rezoning of this project?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, my office did not receive any comments in favor of or against this application, this item.
Okay, for point of clarification, there was no comments, letters, or any form of communication against or for the project. So, Kay, does that suffice the legal aspect?
Yes, I just wanted to make sure if anyone had tried to have some input that we inquired about it. And so now we could close the public hearing.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Now we're allowed. All the legals are obeyed. So I will now take a motion to close public hearing.
So move.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those against? Motion carries. I will now take a motion.
Mayor, move to approve reading of ordinance number 402 by title only.
Second.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. I will now take a motion.
Ordinance
Mayor.
number,
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Sonia, proceed.
thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 402, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of the City of San Luis, Arizona, amending the official zoning map of the City of San Luis by changing the zoning classification of 10.52 acres from medium-density residential R1-12 to low-density residential R1-20 for property located north of County 22nd Street and east of East Main Canal, repealing any conflicting provisions and providing for severability.
Thank you, Sonia. I will now take a motion.
Mayor,
Mayor,
move
I'm,
zoning conditioning upon the terms of the development agreement approved by resolution number 2146 and approve ordinance number 402.
Second.
second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those against? Motion carries. There you go, Naja.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members.
Thank you. Olivia, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, council members. Good evening.
Thank you. Coming to current events, events by mayor, city council members, and or city manager pursuant to ARS 38-431.02K. I just want to say I had a couple of meetings. I finally met the port director. The consulate of Mexico arranged for a private meeting with the new director. She is really knowledgeable and she comes highly recommended. We talked about 3 items in particular during this. I actually was not, I didn't know we were going to talk about particular items. I think we were just going to get together, but it appears one of the biggest concerns is like we don't have an insect specialist at the Port of Entry too. And there's universities across in San Luis, Colorado that want to get together with probably the University of Arizona or Arizona State or a university here in the States and actually do an insect study to facilitate the transit, because if an insect is identified or actually not identified, it can take up to a whole day that stops the shipment. And those are very delicate and require refrigeration most of the time. And so we want to make sure that we have a bug specialist in that area. So we talked about that. We talked about how to promote Port of Entry 2. The port director is actually out there recruiting companies to actually go to Port of Entry 2. And so it was really an interesting conversation. But I'm excited because it's been a while. This port director, she's really serious about promoting people crossing through our Port of Entry 2. And she also talked about the situation regarding Port of Entry 1, the modernization and changes that need to occur. And I basically gave my concerns that if Mexico does not make any modifications to their port, the funding is, it just makes our funding in more jeopardy, because people are going to say, well, you don't need 28 million or you don't need 40 million for it to go through our Friendship Park. So that was the crucial part of it, because they're not discussing about the underpasses. They're discussing about using signaling. Signaling has failed again and again. And so it's going to take some work. We need to make meetings with our counterparts across the border and make sure the port director is there, and make sure that the American CBP port director is also there. So it's a lot of work that's coming. So it was a good, productive meeting. So I also attended the ribbon cutting by our physical therapy. This was, I did receive a phone call from the owner. And so this happened very quick the day before. So I apologize if I couldn't find anyone to take pictures that day, because no one knew about it. So it's one of those things that was basically a one-day notice, and I was able to go there. I took some time off, and I really appreciate Cesar, the owner, Sergio, the owner, and for what he's doing, his physical therapy location and the pool. It's just amazing. So they're going to be providing top-notch physical therapy for our community, and it was a very small ceremony. There was a lot of employees there, so I got to meet staff, and I got to meet the priest from El Padre from Somerton, Immaculate Heart of Mary Church, and so I was there for 15 minutes. It was a quick one, but we now have a bigger, more improved physical therapy. We can actually do aquatic. The pool itself costs over $100,000, so it's an amazing pool, and I actually wanted to jump in. It was really good. So it's amazing what they're doing. The physical therapy is changing. The way I saw it 15 years ago, now it's changed so much. So I'd like to congratulate Sergio for his accomplishment and investing in our community. And that's it. Anyone else?
No, really, not much done.
Okay, good. Okay. Let's see here, Tadeo.
Nothing on my part, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any council member?
Mayor, today I went to the library meeting. It was a very short meeting. It was mostly stats from the different branches about their reopening. So it was only about 20-minute meeting, short and sweet, but people are still participating in library events virtually, and now they're having community open to the community. So little by little, they're starting to go to the library. They're only allowed a few minutes, and they follow all the protocols, and that was basically it.
Thank you, Africa, and thank you for continuing the partnership with the Yuma County Library. It's very important. That is very important, especially for our community. I know a lot of members of our community depend on our library, and thank you for being part of that committee. I sincerely thank you for that. I know it takes time, but I really appreciate what you do, Africa.
Thank you, Mayor.
Anyone else? Okay, if not, I will now take a motion to adjourn.
So move, Mayor.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Ponce. All those against? Motion carries. Have a good night. Stay safe, please. Numbers are going up in COVID, so very, very important you wear your mask, guys. Thank you.